The day my own mother tried to blackmail me in my home office, 5 judges watched it happen live and everything changed. I had been waiting for this moment for years. When my brother Ethan's wife discovered his 2-year affair with her closest friend, the explosion was nuclear. Their marriage didn't just end, it pulled the mask off our entire family. As the only financially successful sibling, founder of a boutique wealth management firm, I instantly became the designated bailout fund. The security feed captured it perfectly, Mom and Ethan slipping through my unlocked front door at 10:17 a.m., right after his frantic midnight call. They didn't realize the cameras weren't just recording, they were streaming. I sat behind my desk, pulse hammering, but voice calm. The tiny green indicator on my monitor glowed steadily. 5 family court judges, including the Honorable Elena Vasquez, were tuned in from their private conference room, arranged discreetly by my lawyer. "Emma," Mom called out, voice sharp with fake concern. "We're here about Ethan. Family business." They stormed into my office like they still owned me. Ethan looked wrecked, same wrinkled shirt from the night before. Mom gripped her crocodile skin purse, the one I'd gifted her for her birthday, like it was armor. "Your brother needs $950,000 to settle the divorce," she declared, skipping every pleasantry. "You're writing the check, today." I met her eyes without flinching. "No, I'm not." Ethan collapsed into the leather chair. "She's trying to destroy me. Wants the lake house, the boat, half my 401k. All because of one mistake." "One mistake?" I echoed quietly. 2 years of lying, gaslighting, and spending joint money on secret trips. "That's not a mistake, Ethan. That's a pattern." Mom's cheeks flushed crimson. "Blood is thicker than water. You have the money. You owe us." "I've already given him $318,000 in the last 6 years, I said, sliding a thick ledger across the desk. "Business loans, house payments, private school tuition." He turned it into cruises, watches, and weekend getaways with his side piece. "You're jealous," Mom spat. "All you do is sit behind a screen and hoard money while he actually lives." The irony burned, but I kept my tone even. "My answer is final. I won't finance his consequences." She stepped forward, heels striking the floor like gunshots. "After everything we sacrificed for you, you selfish little." "What sacrifices?" I asked softly. "When I dropped out of law school to start this firm, you called me delusional. When I closed my first 8-figure deal, you whispered to relatives I must be laundering money. The only time you've ever praised me is when my bank account could solve your problems." Ethan surged to his feet. "You think you're superior because you got rich. You just got lucky." "Lucky?" A bitter laugh escaped me. "I worked 100-hour weeks for a decade. I lived on instant noodles in a basement apartment while you bought vintage Mustangs with my transfers." "Enough," Mom shrieked. "Give him the money, or you're dead to this family." Silence. Then the slap, sharp, stinging, her emerald ring slicing across my cheekbone. Blood welled immediately. Ethan's lips curled into a smug smile. "You'll pay," Mom hissed, "or everyone hears about that little incident from your college days." I touched the cut, feeling the warm trickle. "You mean the part where I worked 3 jobs to finish my degree after you and Dad drained my education account for Ethan's failed startup? Tell whoever you want. The truth has a way of finding daylight." She raised her hand again. I didn't flinch. I wouldn't. The first strike is already on record. A second one just strengthens the case. Ethan's smirk evaporated. "What record?" I slowly rotated my laptop. 5 live feeds filled the screen, 5 different courtrooms, 5 sets of eyes watching every word, every gesture, every raised hand. The red recording dot pulsed steadily. Mom's face drained of color. "You're streaming this?" "No, Mom," I said quietly. "You streamed yourselves. Assault. Extortion. The casual admission about stealing my college fund. All witnessed by the judges presiding over Ethan's divorce." A thunderous knock rattled the front door. "Ms. Carter." "Detective Morales, open up please." Chaos erupted. Mom bolted for the kitchen exit only to find a second officer waiting. Ethan lunged for my laptop. I calmly locked the screen. The footage was already mirrored on encrypted servers in 3 states. As they were escorted out in handcuffs, Mom spun back one final time. "You've ruined us." "No," I whispered. "You ruined yourselves. I just stopped writing the checks." 1 year and 3 months later, I sat in a packed federal courtroom beside my ex-sister-in-law, Lauren. The FBI had unraveled a decade-long scheme: forged signatures, identity theft, nearly $2.4 million in fraudulent debt, all tied back to Mom and Ethan. When the judge invited victim impact statements, I walked to the podium. For years I believed family meant bleeding yourself dry for people who never bled for you. I was wrong. They didn't just take my money. They took my peace, my trust, my belief that love has to hurt to be real. Mom sobbed theatrically. I'd learned to see the performance. The gavel came down: 12 years for Ethan, 9 for Mom, plus restitution. Outside, Lauren squeezed my hand. "We're free." "Almost," I said, smiling for the first time in years. The following week I launched the Carter Boundary Foundation, legal aid, financial education, and emergency support for survivors of familial financial coercion. The first client was a young software developer whose parents demanded she liquidate her company to cover her sister's wedding debts. "They keep saying I owe them for raising me," she cried. I showed her the last text Mom ever sent me before prison: "A real daughter would save her family." Then I looked her in the eyes. A real family doesn't require saving. They cheer when you soar. Today the scar on my cheek is barely visible. The deeper wounds, they've healed into something stronger: boundaries, chosen family, and the quiet power of finally saying no. Sometimes the hardest word in the English language is 2 letters long. And sometimes it's the only one that sets you free.